how the police can track a suspect down, sometimes hours before the crime's even committed, until hours later when the suspect might be at home or their apartment, in bed, sleeping, thinking they got away with it. I'm going to go through a few real examples that I've been involved with personally as a police officer, but I'm also going to tell you how you can get involved and how you can help the police. Take a drive down any residential street in any subdivision, anywhere in the country, and what do you see? You see video surveillance. People have cameras facing the front door in case somebody tries to break in or kick in. There's different doorbell cameras out there. People have cameras at the front of the house, usually capture in the front of the house, the driveway, in case somebody wants to steal the vehicle or break in. But just by default, those cameras actually cover the sidewalk, if there is one, and they cover the street as well. So they can see vehicles going up and down the street, people riding their bikes, people walking. And these things are everywhere. Now, a white Honda Civic comes to the street, commits theft or break and enter, robbery, home invasion, even far worse. Okay. And you know what's really sad talking about this is these things are happening every single day. They commit the crime and then they take off. They speed away. The police are called, and maybe the victim or somebody close to the victim has some video surveillance, and they can provide video or a still image to the police, and the police put out a press release or a media release asking for the public's help to identify this person or identify a vehicle of interest or a person of interest who might be involved in this crime, okay? And you see these, again, way too often. Now, quite often, depending on the severity of the crime, and it does depend on the severity of the crime, that's just when the investigation starts. And let me just walk you through this. So that vehicle that took off they sped away, they went through a few other streets, flying up and down. And then maybe they went to a main street or through a parking lot. They cut through somewhere. They made their way to a main street and then to a main highway or freeway. Took off into the city, got off somewhere, and drove to their home or drove to their apartment, whatever the case is. Now, why does this matter to you? Well, these cameras, they're everywhere on the street. So now the police, and there's units dedicated to this, whether it's auxiliaries or special constables or different civilian positions within the police service, their job is basically to go from door to door or to find out who else may have surveillance of what took place. But now we already know that if they went down a few other streets, that the chances are there's probably some video surveillance which shows the vehicle flying down the street. If it drops off one camera, then another camera will pick it up. Eventually, they make their way to a more busy street. And there's intersections. A lot of intersections have video surveillance. Maybe they're passing some businesses, corporations in the public sector, the private sector, schools, parking lots, train stations. These places all have video surveillance that cover, again, the parking lots, the front of the building, but also the streets, malls. Right? Doesn't matter. Eventually, they make their way to the highway or the freeway. Now, I don't know if you notice this or not, but the highway or the freeway, there's cameras I don't know how close they are, every few hundred feet. You're constantly on video. You're constantly being recorded. Where one camera drops off, the other camera will pick up. I've been to some of these places. I remember one time I had to go to the ministry to pick up some video footage as a police officer, and it was about 2 a.m. This place was crazy. It was like the Matrix, where they had all those TV screens and you could see everything. I was amazed at the surveillance, that people can see everything. Again, if you're driving fast, one camera can drop off. Where one camera drops off, another one picks up. So the suspect vehicle, they exit the highway, they pass some gas stations, coffee shops, or parking lots. Again, gas stations, they got video surveillance, coffee shops, not just inside, but also that face the parking lot and usually cover the street. So it's quite possible that the police can track the suspect vehicle from the scene of the crime until they get off the highway. Maybe they're going to drop their buddy off at their house and go through a few more subdivisions or, side streets. They can find out where the buddy lives, and then they're going to go back home to their apartment building. They need to buzz into their apartment building. The parking lots are covered by video surveillance. The parkade, to get in where you swipe in, that's covered by cameras. The lobbies, the elevators, sometimes even the floors. So again, it's quite possible that they can track the suspect from the scene of the crime to where they live. These investigations take time and they take resources. So what can you do to help? Well, there's database